Good morning. Can everybody hear me okay? Good on? Okay, good. Welcome to the Church of the Angels. We are an independent, non-denominational, interfaith spiritualist assembly. All who gather here and enter here are valued for their unique qualities. We gather in safe community to worship as equals in an exchange of energy through love, thought, and communication. Thank you for your cooperation. Cooperation. As we learn how to best move back into the live services, and who knows what's happening. I just want to say it could change daily, what we decide to do here. All I can do now is recommend masks, but we're not requiring them at this moment. Okay. All right. And some do and some don't, and just let us allow each other to do what we feel is best for each of us. So my name is Reverend Jenni Vinecourt, and I am your facilitator today. And firstly, I want to say thank you for all the prayers and the well wishes through my situation and my surgery. And thank you. I know it will continue through my treatment as well. So thank you all. I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And service is being recorded today and will be posted online and on Facebook and our website. The recording will be stopped before the messages are given to respect the sacredness of working with spirit. In true spiritualist tradition, our service celebrates all four aspects of meeting. The first is the uniting of our vibrations through music, prayer, and quiet reflection. Secondly, offers spiritual healing. Third, embraces inspiration and thought exchange. And finally, we communicate messages from spirit. We'll be together here for about an hour, a little more than an hour. I appreciate your help with a few logistics. I told you that masks and or face shields are optional. Please continue to practice social distancing if you choose. If you want a little extra space, flip the ribbon, beside you so that you get a little extra space if you want. There is no fellowship time. Wipes and or hand sanitizer and masks are available up front. And I think that will be it. The Church of the Angels tries to be as inclusive as possible and invite those of all opinions and backgrounds to join us for services. All speakers are prompted to leave politics and any politically charged topics outside of our gatherings, and this is to promote spiritual unity. We know that our true selves are always united in love. And if you're interested in sharing your passion and knowledge with our congregation, please contact friend Dippert over there, who is scheduling speakers at this time. And if you'd like to serve the church as a facilitator, like I'm doing now, it's very, very easy. Please contact Reverend Joey Walt. I want to mention that if you do wish to make a donation, you can do so through the Church of the Angels website. And you'll also have an opportunity at that time to make that donation a recurring one if you choose. There's a separate donation page to make it a little easier on you. You'll be able to choose where you want your donation to go, whether it's a general donation or it's for meditation circle, development circle, or what. Here in our church space, we will not be passing the baskets, but for safety, they are located throughout the room. I think there's one back there, and there's one over there, and I think there's one there. So thank you to all who have donated and helped us to stay strong throughout this past year, year and a half. I want to mention that we really, some places, some businesses, some churches didn't make it through that. And we had, through your generosity, we're good. We're good. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So if you would please rise and join silently with our first song from Anthony, and then remain standing for our opening prayer.
Song is about surrender. Long for your embrace every single day, to meet you in this place, see you face to face, will you show me, reveal yourself to me because of your mercy. I fall down on my knees, And I can feel your presence here with me. Suddenly I'm lost within your beauty, caught up in the wonder of your touch. Here in this moment I surrender to your love. I surrender to your love. Everywhere I go, I am not alone. You call me as your own. To know you and me know you are holy. I fall down on my knees, and I can feel your presence here with me. Suddenly I'm lost within your beauty, caught up in the wonder of your touch. Here in this moment I surrender to your love. Yeah. I surrender, yeah. I surrender to your grace. Lord, I surrender to your love. I surrender to your love. I surrender, yeah, to your love. And I can feel your presence here with me. Suddenly I'm lost within your beauty, caught up in the wonder of your touch. Here in this moment I surrender to your love. I surrender. I surrender to your love.
Mother, Father, Infinite Spirit, thank you for your blessings on those who have joined here today to honor your work and experience your grace and wisdom. Thank you for providing the appropriate thoughts, insights, actions, and all resources for us to gain a better and truer understanding of your love by the words spoken, the songs sung, and by the messages and healing brought forth through today so that we might lead healthy, happy, and prosperous lives. Thank you for showing us the way to accept responsibility for our lives. We are grateful to know that you are with us always. And I want to add the Buddhist prayer of forgiveness today. If I have harmed anyone in any way, either knowingly or unknowingly, through my own confusion, I ask their forgiveness. If anyone has harmed me in any way, either knowingly or unknowingly, through their own confusion, I forgive them. And if there is a situation I am not yet ready to forgive, I forgive myself for that. For all ways that I harm myself, negate, doubt, belittle myself, judge, or be unkind to myself through my own confusions, I forgive myself. Thank you. You may be seated. And this is a sacred assembly. To avoid any interruptions and maintain the sacred nature of the service, all phones and or recording devices other than this thing are to be turned off throughout the entire service. We will be recording the podium area only so that we can share the service online. Please join me silently as I read our statement of principles. And if you would like a copy, you can find it on the website. There is one creative force of which all life is a part. This one creative force is known by many names and manifestations. We recognize and honor the many names and manifestations of the one creative force the source of all creation, one in God. The energy of life everywhere is continuous. All consciousness is continuous. Communication is continuous. The energy of life, consciousness, and communication never cease, even after the event that is perceived as death. One creates one's own reality. One creates in harmony with the one creative force, the great power of God of which all life is a part. Reality is as one chooses to perceive and will change as one grows in knowledge of the inner self and one's relationship with the God of his understanding. All things are possible with faith, insight, knowledge, understanding, acceptance, and love. Love is the unifying energy of the universe. Love is the energy of the one creative force, the wisdom of God. All life and all mankind are one in the creatorship and healing force of love and with each other. Love is within us and of us. Love is never apart from us. It is we who separate ourselves from the power of love. The force of God works through love and love alone. And now we'll have a few moments of quiet meditation. Do you have something for us, Anthony? So that we can concentrate on going within to find some peace and calm and healing for ourselves and the world. Take your time, come back to the present. Please remember that we're always connected to each other and to the divine. Use this peace and calm to take care of yourself first and all those around you in your communities and throughout the world in whatever way that you can. And at this time, please add silently the names of those you wish to include in this healing energy. Thank you. And now it's time for inspiration and thought exchange brought to us by today's speaker, We do invite everyone to address our assembly with words of inspiration, lessons learned, passionate ideas, and every opinion expressed here is strictly that of the person who gives it. Let us consciously and lovingly agree to disagree if it doesn't resonate with us. And the topic for today is, I believe, lessons I've learned from the Dalai Lama, I think, right? And it is my pleasure to present our foundational pastor, Reverend Walt Fasser, which I didn't pull his bio, but he's got a long history of a lot of learning, a lot of teaching, a lot of love. So with that, I give you Reverend Walt Fasser. You're kind of just kind of stay here for the recording.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Wonderful to be back at the podium. It's been a while. Those who have known me for a while know that I've traveled extensively through the 70s and 80s, covering US, Canada, Taiwan, Japan, Korea, Australia, and in traveling all these countries, I also was heavily involved in Silva program. Originally, it was Silva Mind Control, and then Silva program after that. I think it would attract more people with Silva program, Silva Mind Control. And one of my travels, I normally would leave the house on Friday evening and go to some city where I was to be a troubleshooter, a hatchet man, and so forth for the various companies that I worked for. And I landed in this one city one time, and there was also a graduate of the Silva program there. And he said, Walt, I have a ticket to go to a program, a Kundalini meditation with the Dalai Lama. And I said, is she good? And he said,
Well, if you stand here, the mic will pick you up better. I know you don't like to be behind the podium, but they need to hear you.
okay.
Thank you.
I said, is she good? And he said, no, she is a he. Oh, I said, I apologize for that. And so he gave me a ticket to this program at a local, wasn't local, it was local to the people who were there. So I showed up early to the program, which I normally would do to any program I attend. But I like to see who's there and what's going on. So I walked into this auditorium and the guests started coming in. And I noticed they were all barefoot or wearing socks. None of them had shoes on, except me. And so I looked out towards the entrance door, and there was a pile of shoes about this high on each side of the entrance door. And 6 gentlemen with orange jumpsuits on came out, and they brought plants and bouquets of flowers and everything and put it on the podium and gave some type of chant in Indian language, I guess. It was very interesting to me. I didn't understand a word they were saying. And they chanted some more, and the Dalai Lama spoke a little bit. And then they went into the meditation. Well, at the start of the meditation, I opened my eyes, and one of these gentlemen in the jumpsuit stuck a thermometer in my mouth and was sticking a thermometer in everyone's mouth. I said, well, that's strange. I'm not sure I should be here. Went through the meditation, And it, I'm not sure what I was supposed to be meditating about, but I was a silver graduate and I went to level. And when I came back from level, there was another gentleman with an orange jumpsuit sticking another thermometer in my mouth. And so one of them asked, how many here temperature went down? You subtract the first temperature on the thermometer, subtract the second temperature, and that's how much it went down. So just about everybody in the place, temperature went down. I said, oh, I'm in trouble now. And my temperature went up. And so the Dalai Lama asked, who in here has temperature going down? And everybody raised it. Said, who had a temperature going up? And myself, one of the group leaders there, and one of the guys in orange jumpsuit, temperature went up. There was three of us, the temperature went up. Well, come to find out, the meditation that was done was to raise the Kundalini forces. And the way you could tell that they were rising was the temperature went up. Well, I guess I was one of the few. I didn't feel so bad after that. After the program was over, I went up to speak to the Dalai Lama. And he came over to me and he put his arms around me. And I put my arms around him. We exchanged a few words to each other. And coming to find out about it, no one touches the Dalai Lama. Well, here I'm being bad again. So it was quite interesting. As the program concluded, I started walking out the door, and half of the Indian people that were there came over and wanted me to join their meditation circle, to travel on the astral with them. And I said to myself, I'm not ready for this. I'm happy with the silver program. Somehow, I didn't understand what was going on because I didn't understand any of the language. So I excused myself from the group that was chasing me down the roadway and thought about it, that there must be some lessons that I'm to learn out of all of this. So one of the lessons was if you're having a problem or having to work with unfamiliar spiritual truths and teachings, you're probably not where you're supposed to be. And so, as one teacher said to me many years ago, well, it's good to be a big frog in a small pond, and not a small frog in a big pond. That rang true in many ways to me. But I was happy where I was. I was doing radio and TV shows in Indiana, in Illinois, and throughout the Midwest. I was serving a spiritual church. And that brings up a whole nother. As I was executive director of Expanding Human Awareness, vice president, a lady that we kind of hit it off together. And she said, well, I want to take you to a spiritual church. I said, what's a spiritual church? And she said, oh, you'll find out when you get there. So I sat in the very back row, and when it came time for messages, they had a few mediums at work, and then the preacher said, well, I want you to come up here and give messages. So I will give messages. He said, yes, you do. So I went up to the front and gave a short message. And she said, well, I didn't tell you to give a sentence. I told you to give a message. I said to myself, I ain't ever going to do this again. Embarrassment in front of the whole congregation. Well, that was my start in church. But as I said, if your things are unfamiliar to you, you don't feel comfortable following them, you're not ready to follow them right now. And I wasn't ready to follow right now. Another lesson was brought forth to me during the Kundalini meditation and the events afterwards. But if somebody tries to promote you, in truth, they're promoting themselves by saying that they're responsible for you being where you are. And if you're not ready to be there, pass on the invitation. Over the last 50 years, my involvement in spiritualism and psychic phenomena has told me that I'm not ready to be promoted by anybody. I'm happy where I am. I'm happy with the church. I'm happy with serving the church. I've always said to Spirit, that I make my living through my everyday work, and my spiritual work all donated to the Great Spirit, wherever they may be, either on the side, right, or the other. I was happy with radio and television that I did in a newspaper write-up. I'm happy I'm not doing that now. Very draining sometimes. But wherever you choose on your spiritual path, be happy where you are. And the opportunity to grow, change will eventually come to you if you're wanting to take growth and change. I met many wonderful people on my journey. And there are many lessons that I haven't learned. I'm trying to learn them. It's difficult at times to move forward on your spiritual path and not have to give up some of the pleasures, some of the joys, some of the people that you meet along the way. But the only way you can keep on growing is to keep on moving forward. Sometimes the progress is very minimal. Sometimes it comes in great leaps and bounds. But it's wonderful to be able to see the progress that's been made by the spiritual people who come to spiritual church. We have people that joined in our service just living in Hawaii, Florida, Arizona, Illinois, Indiana, Canada, all over the United States and the country, the world. And I thank Spirit for the wonderful people that come in Church of the Age and the other churches throughout the area. We have many wonderful teachers among us. We have many wonderful meetings. We all serve a purpose. In whatever endeavor we're bringing forth to the church. Thank Reverend Jenni Fasser. Put in many hours, not knowing sometimes where she was going. It's wonderful to be here. I think I'm the second oldest person in church today. At 84, I'm not willing to quit yet.
You want to open this for questions?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you. Well, and stay up here because I'm sure we have comments and questions. I have one. I want to make sure, I want to mention, I love what you said about it, wherever you're at, and if you're not comfortable, you're not ready yet, which means stay open to the opportunity because like in another couple of years, that same thing may show up and you will feel right, because, yeah. So anyway, open up for questions and comments. Please, oh, come on. Seriously. Go ahead, Allison. Ah,
So he thanked, I said to him, much like what with you others. He thanked the man of pure journey. You've met this, sorry. Yeah. Somebody back here saying, yes, he did.
Any other comments or questions? Yes, Renee?
I just want to thank you for your presence in the church, founding the church, and your wisdom today. I'm not going to say everything that you said affected me out loud, but everything you said affected me in a positive, internally contemplative way. And I'm going to look at it. So, thank you.
Alexander?
So I was sitting in the back row. Other woman which eventually became one of my wives. It's been a rough emotional road for me. Last I heard, she was in Florida.
So how did you give that first message?
I came up to the front. I don't remember the words I said, but it was like a sentence, like someone say, I see change coming up for you. It was a short sentence like that.
And she didn't let you get, or he or she did not let you get away with that, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
So anytime I had someone come up, if I knew they were ready, but they have given him. I heard he's ready, but he hasn't given a message yet.
I remember you,
Right?
yeah, I remember you,
Yeah.
I remember you doing it to me as well, at the church, when it was on Caves Road. Yeah, I remember you doing that to me, pulling me up there, going, hey.
Yeah, yeah, I tried to be as gentle as possible with someone that hasn't worked here in a public setting. It's different from working in a public setting than working in a private reading.
Mhm.
Because in a private reading, someone can say no, and you and the person they're reading are the only ones to hear it. When you're working in front of a group, everybody hears.
Fran, last question?
Yeah, I was wondering, when you were at the Dollar Line, when there were two people who raised their, was there an explanation for that? Like, I mean, you the only three that were properly medicated? Or, I mean, why would the other people they thought they were supposed to go down?
Normally when you meditate,
Well, thank you again, Walt. It was wonderful to hear you speak again. Thank you, our foundational pastor. Thank you. Okay. And now it's time for some announcements. Next week, the 15th, I don't know who the speaker is. Fran, do we know? Mark Dorr? Reverend Mark Dorr? Okay, all right, cool. All right. That's all right. And also, Sunday the 15th is our 7 p.m. evening Zoom service as well. Okay, so we've got that. And I think I'll be speaking. Okay. The following Sunday, the 22nd, is our outdoor service at Orchard Hill Park on Caves Road. You can Google that. It's at the same time, 11. You can Google how to get there. It's just fun to do an outside service. Sometimes we bring animals. We haven't talked about it this time, so it doesn't matter. But if you do, they have to be leashed in the park. So, and the directions are on the door. There's a sign on the outside of the door on if you need actual written down directions instead of the lady telling you which way to go. So the lady on the phone. All right. Next meeting of the Board of Trustees is this Tuesday. If you have any comments or questions for the board, please email to the church's email quickly so we can discuss them at the meeting. The next development circle is Monday, the 16th at 7 on Zoom. And please note that the September 6th development circle is canceled because of Labor Day. Reverend Barbara Douglas is holding another spiritual abundance class beginning in September. I've taken this course, highly recommended. I'm going to take it again. It's a 4-session class on Zoom on Monday evenings. Does not interfere with development circle. It's on the opposite Mondays. And payment and registration can be made on the church's donation page. There's more info on the class on Facebook. First class is September 13th. So look for that on Facebook so you can get more information and definitely sign up. It's a good one. Okay, now we're looking also for someone in the congregation with some technical savvy, that more technical savvy than those of us on the board, that could help the church with Yelp or a few other online situations. Please email the church if you can help out. Please check the website, the newsletter, or Facebook for, like I said, the newest information on our live service plans. With things changing almost daily, just keep watching for the latest recommendations and what we are doing. We have a person in Berea that would love to arrive to church on Sundays. If there's anybody that lives out that way who comes from that direction, please let me know so I can hook you up. And you can connect with us through Facebook at the Church of the Angels of Cleveland, Ohio. And please, promote our events and by reposting and whatnot on Facebook if you can. Any announcements from the floor? Fran?
I just want to say that I was out of for a couple of weeks, so if you contacted me about speaking, I have the speaker guidelines today. Like anybody that speak today.
And don't think you don't have anything to say, because we all do. We all do. And it's not that you can hide behind the podium. It's cool. We're good. So it's pretty easy. All right. Any other announcements from the floor? Okay. To usher in our time for truth and messages from spirit, please rise and join in silently singing and or listening to our next wonderful song from Anthony.
So since COVID and people are allowed to sing, I'm performing songs that maybe you don't. But they're good songs. So this one is a song I wrote a while ago, and I played it. I'm pretty sure I played it maybe a year ago. And it's about loving myself. And, I wrote it around a time that I had a really good recap. And I started running into his mom. And I ran into his mom last night, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, why? I lost all my dreams because I lost belief in me. I gave you all of me, so all I had left to do was steal. I dreamed you away up, so I could find a way to feel. I gave you all my love, and I found out it was never real. I never loved the right one. I never stayed 'cause I love to run. I can never fall in love with anything if I don't fall in love with me. If I don't first fall in love with me. As I'm looking back all night, I thought I had everything, but now I know I never stood a chance. 'Cause I always loved me less. I never loved the right one. I never stayed 'cause I love to run. I can never fall in love with anything if I don't first fall in love with me. If I don't first fall in love with me. I realized one thing. I made a big old mess of me, yeah. Then I realized everything, and I'm changing. I'm changing. I never loved the right one. I never stay 'cause I love to run. I can never fall in love with anything if I don't fall in love with me. If I don't first fall in love with me. Fall
Anthony. That was wonderful. Thank you. Please be seated. Excuse me. Oh, that was interesting. Sorry. Okay, the recording will now be stopped. Preserve the sacredness of those serving and receiving from Spirit. For those of you watching the video, thank you for your support, and remember that you're always connected to the divine and all of creation. See if I can get it done without too much difficult. Yeah. Okay.